Hey everyone, Nick at Dad the Prof here. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying life as always. I was sitting here, I'll admit, just a few minutes ago thinking, it's been a while since I did, it feels like it's been a while since I did a video. And the missus was with me and she said, you know what, you could help me with a project outside. And I instantly became nervous. And the reason is because one thing about me is that I'm just not very handy. I do not do crafts. I don't do shelves. I don't hang stuff well. It's really sad to admit. I'm not a person who's adept at tinkering and doing stuff like that. And this was all fully disclosed to the missus before we made it permanent, getting married. So she knew the type of guy she was getting. And I am not one of those like handyman types. I just don't have a knack for it. Never really have. I could if I really devoted myself to learning about this stuff. I'm capable of learning, of course. But I've never gotten the hang of doing handy type stuff like that. I'm not a Mr. Fix-It. And so even if it's hanging a shelf, I get nervous, and I know it's low stakes. I know it doesn't matter. I know it's easy, but I get nervous about how well I'm able to do it and if it would meet my standards of how I want it to look. And I just lack the confidence to be able to do stuff like this. So the latest thing for months has actually been my wife has this big planter, like separate planter that can affix to the outside of our house, like below one of our window frames. But the problem is, I don't know, it's probably about 6 foot long or so, maybe a foot deep, and so she's wanted it mounted rather, on the exterior of the house underneath the windowsill at least half the year. And I don't have the courage to try it. I don't have a hammer drill, which I think is what's required to, get the bolts or whatever, the screws, whatever they are. See, I don't even know what they are, the fasteners into the brick that we have, outside of our house. And I'm scared to mess it up. And if I mess it up, I know I'm going to feel really bad because then I'm going to have holes in my exterior brick of my house that's going to look like, it's going to look terrible. So we were just sitting over there and I was just thinking, I should be thinking about a new video. And my wife said, you can help me out with the hanging the planter. This has been months in the making and I instantly became terrified. So does anybody else struggle with this? Like, I am just not handy around the house. I feel as a man, I should be more handy than I am. I can't help it. I mean, I'll fully admit, like, that's one of the things I just don't do well. I'm not very technical. So it just is what it is. So I don't know. Let this video perhaps serve as inspiration to some of you, or maybe confirmation that, you know what? I know a lot about being a Mr. Fix-It and Nick doesn't. Go me. Or maybe it can be, hey, just like Nick, I don't know much about this stuff. And I appreciate he's willing to admit it because it's hard to admit as a guy that you're not good at these types of things. So anyway, I think the main takeaway from this would be it's okay to be who you are. Be honest about who you are. And that's okay. It's also okay to seek out growth and development opportunities, however they may look. And it's okay sometimes to say, you know what, that's outside my wheelhouse. And maybe it'd be good to, farm the task out to somebody else that could do a little bit better, or at least have someone supervise who's more experienced. With me, the supervisor winds up turning into the taskmaster, which is my wife. Yes, Mrs. herself. She likes to tell me that she scored very high on the ASVAB when she was in high school. And so I tell her, all right, ASVAB girl, you can take the lead on hanging the shelf. You can take the lead on the hammer drill, drilling bolts or screws or whatever into the exterior of the home. But let's just please not mess it up. So anyway, we may take a shot at doing this here. And if we do, then I'll post a follow-up video to this one showing you how the thing shook out. Okay. So wish me luck. And those of you doing home projects yourself, bless your heart, hang in there. If you're good at them, go you. And if you're not good at them, again, pray heavily.